Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this series, The Mindset Model, all about resetting my health. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about diet disasters and how I am changing my relationship with food, my mindset around how I see food. So, for pretty much all of my life, I have been on some sort of diet. My mum has always been on diets. My grandma has always been on diets. It's the thing to do. If you're on a diet, you're winning at life. That is what I was brought up to believe. And it's so interesting when I've reflected back about, my relationship with food, like how I look after my body and my health. A lot of the beliefs and behaviors have been picked up through my childhood, my teen life. And that is why I'm doing this health reset, because a lot of the things that I've learned are absolute crap and they're going in the bin. And I really want to create a new healthy lifestyle, a mindset around the way that I see food, which is sustainable, so that my body lasts as long as possible. So, gosh, I think the first idea that I had around diets, I must have been about 10 or 11. My mum would always be on some sort of Slimming World diet or this diet, that diet. And when I was around that age, had a little bit more of a fuller figure. And my mum was telling me this story about how when I was young, I used to manipulate her into giving me chocolate. I was like, oh, okay, tell me more. So I worked out, I must have been about 5 years old, that when my mum was on the phone, she was distracted. And that is the prime time to ask for chocolate, biscuits, all those things like that. And apparently, I used to do that all the time. And whenever I would get chocolate and biscuits and things like that, I would really feel rewarded, really relaxed. And it just was such a good feeling. But as I've got into my adult life, I've really associated, those processed sugary foods with helping my emotions. So that's something we have been addressing. So, anyway, back to the diets. Now, three diets which really stand out for me, which have really messed with my mindset. The first one, when I was still living at home, my mum was like, Sarah, I found this amazing diet. I don't know where the hell she got it from, but this diet was for people who were just about to have life-changing, say, heart surgery, just before surgery, and they had to drop a substantial amount of weight because this is life dependent. So she found this diet. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's lose like a stone in a week. Let's go for it. And it was a very, very strict plan. And you had to have everything, the precise amount of each of these food quantities on this sheet. It was so strict. And there were some foods on here which I did not like at all. And I was like, "Ugh, but I'm going to have to do this." So I have created this fear around certain foods from this particular diet. So, baked beans, for example. I do not like baked beans. I didn't like them. And then when I did this diet, I literally had to force feed myself these baked beans. And I'm like retching. I am like tears are streaming down my eyes. And I'm like, what am I actually doing? I am force feeding myself a food that I do not like. And I'm creating this fear around this food for what? Why? Absolute madness. And it really takes me back as well to when I was younger. Again, kids that for some reason they just don't really like vegetables. I don't know what it is, but I was one of those kids. I was like, I'm not eating broccoli, anything green, get it away from me. But I was told, you are eating that. You are not leaving the table until you have eaten all of your vegetables. Oh my gosh, the fear. So I'm sat at this table, I am crying, the snot is coming down. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get rid of this fucking broccoli off my table, off my plate? So, do you know what I did? I stuffed that broccoli right up my sleeve and I was like, I finished. My parents were like, well done for eating your broccoli. And then I just go into the garden and just empty that out into the shrubbery. And that created such a bad relationship with vegetables, with certain foods, which again, I carried into my adult life. So, that has been a very number one, that diet that was not the best. Force feeding yourself food it's just a no from me. So that's the first one. The second one, which I tried in my adult life, I must have been like 20s, something like that, the shakes. So many different shake diets out there, so many different ones. You can have shake diets with a consultant, you can get them from Boots, supermarkets, whatever. And the idea behind these diets is you're basically replacing meals with a shake. So it's just a massive calorie deficit, basically. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to lose a stone in a day, sort of vibes. So and again, these shake diets really did work. I dropped weight like that. I was like, yes, this is fantastic. Woo! I'm skinny. But these diets are not sustainable. And what I realized was, yes, I dropped weight, but I could not go out. I could not socialize. I could not have the lunches, the dinners, the nights out, the anything. I literally had to cut my social life out of my life, which, being in your 20s is not the best thing to do. And not only that, when I stopped doing these shake diets, literally within a day, the weight came back on. Not in a day, but do you know what I mean? So I just shocked my body into this sort of fasting, not eating enough, this calorie deficit. It wasn't sustainable. Then I carried on eating all the processed foods, overeating, and it was this vicious circle. I was not targeting the root problem, which is the inner work, the mindset work. And then the final diet, the last diet I've ever done, and I'm not interested in diets ever, ever, ever again. I'm going to call them slimming clubs because there's a couple of them out there. Now, for me, I mean, slimming clubs again, they are brilliant if they work for you. They get a community of people together. It's that support network. However, the fear of the scales will forever be with me. So you're going into that room full of people. The scales are there. They're looking at you. They're like, I know. I know what you've been up to this week. That chocolate bar that you sneaked in, that extra slice of bread. Ooh, I'm going to show you up in this room full of people. So I'm there. I'm stood in the queue. I'm sweating. I'm like, please, 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 just a pound, half a pound, anything. Make sure. Stand on the scales. The lady looks up to me. You've gained a pound. The pain. It hurts. Literally, in that moment, I felt like the worst person on the planet. I am literally the worst. I am terrible. How dare I gain a pound? That's it. My life's over. And then you've got to sit there while everyone has to talk about their week. And there's all of these conversations that I'm listening to. Oh, I've been so bad this week. I've been so bad. And then you've got so and so. Oh, well, I've been really good this week. I've made soup and I've just had soup all week. Soup. Oh, yes. Just eating dust, 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 dust. And it's just so I can't even describe this atmosphere. And then you feel like you are just an absolute failure. But why? Where does that come from? Um, and that really created an anxiety around, how much I weighed, whether I'm good or bad. And I created this identity in my head that certain foods are really bad, certain foods are good, and all of these ridiculous different beliefs. And it's just a no. So they are all going in the bin and we are starting afresh. Oh, yes. So as I said, throughout my life, I've demonized food. Now, what I'm doing with my amazing health coach is just rewiring my mindset around food and not restricting myself and taking away the meaning behind it. So, I now see food as something, yes, which is going to fuel my body, nutrient dense, delicious foods which are going to serve me, but also enjoying foods as well. So going out for lunch dates and dinner dates and genuinely enjoying the food, not associating food with being bad or being good. It just tastes delicious and I'm having a good time. I no longer have the need to just binge and gorge. So, say, for example, um, it's January now. Now, normally in January, I notice on the shelves that the mini eggs start popping up. Ooh, we've also got the giant Easter eggs. And by mid-February, I probably would have consumed at least 23 Easter eggs. Yes. I finish work, have a stressful day. Oh, we'll just have a bag of mini eggs. Oh, we'll just have an Easter egg. Oh, I feel really tired today. I'm just going to have a whole Easter egg to myself. Oh, I've done such a good job. I'm going to have an Easter egg. Just, there's a lot going on here. So now I just have such a different relationship with all different foods. They are so neutral, they're there to be enjoyed. So that is some things that I have noticed changing. Like, I don't have those ridiculous cravings anymore. When I have that emotion, when things go wrong, I'm no longer stuffing my face full of Ben and Jerry's because I'm trying to get rid of a feeling, because that's what it was all about, getting rid of a feeling. Now I have different ways of coping, such as breath work or going out walking or, all of those lovely things as well. So I am feeling so damn good. And another thing that we're doing as well, in this sort of journey that I'm doing with my health coach, is setting up boundaries. Now, before, on weekends, I would have absolutely stacked them out with plans, with busyness, with all sorts of things. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't know why we feel the need to go around people pleasing, making ourselves as busy as possible. And that's not it's not good for us. So I'm so excited that I've managed to carve out a lot of time for myself so that I can really focus on doing the inner work, the mindset work, and just being. How many of us actually just be? When was the last time you actually sat down and just had a few minutes to yourself to just breathe, look out the window, look at the birds? It's not very often. And that is such important time. And it's really such an integral part of this health reset. So there we have it. That is a little bit of an update for you. I am no longer doing trashy diets. I've changed my relationship with food, the way that I see it, the way that I enjoy it, and setting up boundaries to regulate my nervous system. Oh, this is a vibe. So I really hope you are enjoying this series. I really hope this is inspiring you to take a little look at how you are living your life, all of that good stuff. And I will see you in the next episode.